Welcome to the world of probiotic foods. This is Cultured Food Life with your host, Donna Schwenk.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining me. And today we're going to be talking about fermented salsa. And this is the time of year when I really enjoy making and eating fermented salsa, along with guacamole and all the things that bring out the freshness of tomatoes. And fermented salsas are so easy and so good. It's one of the easiest ways to get fermented vegetables. And it's super easy to make. Everybody will enjoy it. And really, nobody will really know it's fermented. And it will be filled with billions of probiotics. So what I do is I just throw all those veggies in a blender and then pour them into a jar and add a culture. It's super simple to do. Then you let them ferment for 1 to 2 days, and then they continue to slowly ferment in the refrigerator. And you just place them in the fridge, and then they can last for quite a while, at least a month in your fridge. And you don't even really have to chop the veggies unless you want a really super smooth salsa, because the blender will do the job for you. And boy, is it good. It's so delicious. I have a new recipe in my ebook this month that's raspberry chipotle salsa that is probably one of my favorites. Now, one of the things I want to tell you about when you make these salsas is that fermentation, when you ferment something, you increase the vitamin C. So lime juice, jalapeños, onions, and tomatoes are rich sources of the antioxidant vitamin C. But vitamin C is not heat stable. So food can lose their nutrients when heated. So the salsas that you buy at the store that are heated and pasteurized, you lose all the vitamin C out of them. However, when you ferment these fruits and vegetables with fresh tomatoes, jalapenos, and lime juice, you make the vitamin C increase along with the B vitamins and vitamin K too. Fermented salsa is served raw, which is especially helpful for the absorption of vitamin C. So fermented like things like cabbage, any kind of cultured veggie. Okay, say you're going to ferment cabbage, for instance. I know that cabbage alone, just raw cabbage, has about 60 milligrams of vitamin C in a cup. When you ferment it, it has 600 milligrams of vitamin C in a cup. So the same thing happens in your salsa. I'm not sure exactly how much vitamin C tomatoes and jalapenos have, but they do have it. And it increases exponentially when you ferment it. So these healthy bacteria found in naturally fermented foods also not only produce vitamin C, but they produce enzymes that break down the food present in the intestines, thus making all the nutrients so much easier to absorb. It's like pre-digested food. And fermentation is also key in breaking down anti-nutrients, such as phytic acid, glucosamides, and lectins in foods, which allow us to gain more nutrients from our food and then remove the problems with oxalates. Good bacteria does all this naturally, and that's why the salsas can bring so many big health benefits, all the while tasting delicious. I mean, I can't even tell it's fermented. It doesn't taste sour and tart because tomatoes, when they're fermented, kind of or have a different taste than, say, cabbage would. They kind of retain their, because there's a lot of acids in tomatoes, they retain their flavor better. So it's a great way to get, fermented foods in people's diets and they won't even know. So since fruits and vegetables are also rich in antioxidants, when you take the foods and you ferment them, the phytonutrients are better retained. So research has shown that fermenting fruit and vegetables with Lactobacillus plantarum, which is in our cutting-edge culture starter, and other bacteria helps preserve these polyphenols and make available bioactive peptides, which is so important for your health, your heart health, your longevity. These help to reduce inflammation. They turn chronic disease down, all the while feeding specific species of healthy bacteria. So they're very important for the body. Jalapenos and salsa are rich in vitamin A, C, and potassium. They also have carotenes in them, an antioxidant that helps fight damage to your cells, as well as folate and vitamin K and B. They all have these vitamins that your body just needs. Many of the health benefits come from a compound called capsaicin. That's what makes those peppers spicy. And if you ferment it, you'll get more bang for your buck, and it all increases substantially. So all those vitamins that are well in the nutrients of these fruits and vegetables all increase. Now, Tomatoes are superfoods that are loaded with lycopene, a natural compound found in foods like tomatoes, watermelon, ketchup, grapefruits. It's a natural cancer fighter. It help reduces the risk of several cancers, including prostate, cervical, mouth, throat, esophagus, stomach, colon, rectal, and ovarian cancers. And lycopene also reduces the risk of heart disease. A study in middle-aged men linked lowered blood levels of lycopene and beta-carotene to an increased risk of heart attacks and strokes. Beta-carotene is an antioxidant. It helps give other foods different color hues, and then that converts into vitamin A in your body. The benefits are huge from this, and you want all of these brightly colored vegetables in your diet because they have so many vitamins and nutrients and bioactive peptides that help you to stay healthy and live long. Tomatoes are really good for your skin, and eating tomatoes may help reduce the amount of cell damage caused by free radicals in the body and give you more youthful skin. Tomatoes help to fight cellular damage by retaining the moisture in the skin, and that prevents fine lines and wrinkles. And according to one study, people who ingested 1.3 ounces or 40 grams of tomato paste, which was providing 16 milligrams of lycopene, with olive oil every day for 10 weeks, experienced 40% fewer sunburns. And I have a link to that study in the article, and I'll post the article so you can read it and look at the studies if you'd like in the link description. So there's so many things to be inspired by through fermentation, and especially fermented salsas because they have huge benefits. So I'm trying to convince you to put more salsa in your life. But wait till you see how easy these recipes are. The benefits are huge, and I haven't even talked about the billions of probiotics you get in each bite or how delicious it is. For instance, in my blender salsa, you're just throwing onions and tomatoes, and you could put red peppers, you can put jalapeños. If you take the seeds out of the jalapeno, it's less spicy. If you leave them in, it's more spicy. But it all just blends up into this beautiful salsa. You can also chop it up and do it. I like it blended, but I have a lot of salsa recipes. And I even have an ebook for my members, my Body Pro members this month called Fermented Fiesta. And it's got over 45 recipes in it, Mexican style recipes. And then I also have some free recipes for everybody. And I have things like blender salsa, cultured border salsa, cultured chili salsa, cultured layer bean dip, cultured peach pico salsa, fermented salsa verde, kefir salsa dip, kombucha black bean salsa, and watermelon pico de gallo, which, oh my gosh, I love that stuff so much. I could just sit there in front of the bowl and eat all day long. It's so good. But I make all of these different salsas because we have a lot of fruits and vegetables in the summertime. And I love the tomatoes when they're fresh. And they have a lot of heirloom tomatoes out in the summer. And I think it's interesting that tomatoes help prevent sunburn. So I wonder, and that's when tomatoes are the best. But one of the things I like is cherry tomatoes. I use those often in these salsa recipes because they're sweeter and they just taste fabulous. And you just throw them in a blender. And each recipe is a little bit different. But I have extra ones in my Body Pro Fiesta book that is so good and so healthy. So this is just, if you want to try cultured vegetables and you've been scared about trying the krauts and things like that, highly recommend you do the fermented salsas. Fermented salsas are the least sour and tart tasting, and they don't really taste that at all because of the richness of the tomatoes. But it's a great way to add a cultured vegetable to your diet and get some Lactobacillus plantarum, which is in the cutting edge culture package that ferments this salsa, which makes it have billions of probiotics and also tastes really good. And Lactobacillus plantarum is a very powerful bacteria in your body, and it acts like a pathogen and attracts other bacteria to it, and then it eliminates them from the body. It is great for any kind of stomach distress. It keeps everything running smoothly. It prevents food poisoning. It is just a huge, powerful bacteria, and it's abundant in cultured vegetables. and especially in salsas, which is easy and fun to make. So you can make these salsas, most of them like 5 minutes or less, and then let them ferment for a day or two on the counter. And then they slowly ferment in your fridge too, and you'll enjoy them. But I doubt they'll last very long because they actually are really tasty. And they work well in so many dishes. And I think you'll really find it's easy to enjoy them. You can even mix the salsas in with some yogurt and make a dip or kefir cheese. And it makes a really good salsa dip. People love that. And I think I have that recipe in the article. So I will link the article, all the recipes, and I want to encourage you to try to make some salsa. If this is your first time making fermented vegetables, you'll really like it, and it's super easy and it tastes so good. So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll talk to you next time.